Okay, so what up, folks? Last week has been super interesting, and today this is like the leap day, the 29th of February. It's a very special day, so let's make the best out of this. Who would like to open this session with the first question?
Jamie, Marjan, or Christina, do you guys want to go first? No.
Go for it.
Again, I can go for it. Yeah,
Go.
my question is kind of a bit general. So I have been product manager for the past 10 years, and I have been in tech for like 14 years now. And let's say I've recently, about a year and a half ago, I got really interested in the marketing side of product management and the product-led growth and the growth strategy. So I've been educating myself, kind of familiarizing myself with a lot of those concepts. And I even bought your book, so I'm still to read it. I guess I just wanted to get your very practical experience and tips on how I can perhaps get more hands-on experience on that side, because theory is something you can always learn it, but then how you can apply it perhaps for a product manager. If you have any tips on how I can get more hands-on experience on those things, so the theory that I read and the concept actually sinks in, and I get that comes kind of naturally. So I can go into a problem, understand what is it about, and then come up with some suggestions on how to tackle it. So I guess that's my general question for today.
Got it. Got it. And it's a perfect question because when I was writing the book, it was just like a little bit of, let's say, humbling experience, because when I was working with product managers, I was like, those guys knew everything. I mean, what else is this to learn? And then I was talking with like Jason Knight and Leah Therin and whatnots, and everybody told me that like they don't feel very confident about marketing and growth. And I was just like, what are you saying? This is like super easy. You are in contact with your users all the time. You can apply so many things on just like your job, your existing stuff. And the best in class product managers that I've been working with have always got their hands dirty, either on their primarily project that they are working on, or by just like helping a startup, being mentors in accelerators. These are beautiful levers whatsoever. So, Sina, I think the most interesting piece of advice that I can give you is just like freaking do it. If you can take it for a spin in your job, that would be freaking perfect, because it's not anything else more complex than just like asking your users, so where are you getting the majority of information that you need for getting like this inspiration, how to do your job. The second one is like super connected with customer discovery as well. And up to, let's say, 100 paying customers, things are super easy. You can go and specialize into some more niche areas, such as user onboarding. Onboarding is huge right now. You know what else is huge? Freaking pricing. If you have any experience down the pricing, Ella, this would be wonderful to do, because right now, the acquisition channel, especially Meta right now, is broken. At least like for European companies, everybody is struggling, and like everybody is squeezing. Right now, people are sending sales emails once in like 2 days or something like that. So acquisition is a little bit of a ragged game right now, but whenever we can squeeze more money out of the product, I think that this is a brilliant expertise to have. So either onboarding, either pricing, and just like taking some things for a spin that you are already probably in control with. Not saying that you should be like the master of TikTok advertising or whatnots from the get-go, just like try to generate those tangible insights from the job that you are on right now. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, because time flies here in Lanzarote, the thing was that Kyle Polar sent out a beautiful email from Databox, where Jaco just like shared a couple of onboarding experiments, like 5 onboarding experiments. Maybe like after I hear the next question, I can send it in the chat. But I would always be like, play on your strengths. Just like whenever you can have a tangible impact, do it, do it, do it. Then write a couple of like LinkedIn articles about this, or just like make sure that this is like semi-public at least. And, when it comes to growth, and if you for example, send me to do product management, I think I would be really bad at this because I am more into like the shiny new objects and I don't necessarily always see the holistic picture and whatnot. So it's always like combining these trends that you have, for example, product management, and just like making sure that you do a lot of customer discovery, whatever is your forte. And even if you don't know what is your forte, just ask a couple of your colleagues, what are you like, if they would have to recommend you for a job, what would you say to you? What leads would they send towards your way? And I think that that would be like a brilliant place to start because at the end of the day, you know, you got to start somewhere. And especially with product managers, I always see that there is like a little bit of a perfectionism going on. So like I need to read like a couple of more articles. I need to do this and this and this more. No, what you need is to take your knowledge for a spin and just like get something happen. I hope this was helpful. Otherwise, I will send an additional resource in chat right now. But if you have like any follow-up before we go move to the next one, go.
No, I think this was really helpful, Maya. And I know Jakov, I know he does a lot of onboarding journeys I can follow up. And
Super.
I know another of your colleague who does work in pricing. I don't remember his name. You introduced him and I followed him on LinkedIn. So
It's
I
probably
can,
Simon Bilak, huh?
yes, probably. Yes.
Yes.
But in terms of pricing, if you have any additional resources, would be great if you could just share with me whenever you get a chance. Otherwise,
A
I'm all
bunch.
done. Thanks so much.
A bunch. So I will just like share additional pricing resources in the chat. This is what I curated with my friend Danny from, I think, Frankfurt. I don't know, he's a very skilled product manager himself. So yeah, I will definitely share more pricing resources in the chat. And in the meanwhile, whoever wants to go next, let's make the best out of the time that we have together. Otherwise, I will go to the dinner in Indian restaurant and I won't be here anymore. So go.
Okay, maybe I can go next.
Go.
So I'm Maja Voje. I'm coming from the company Audiobook from Slovenia. We are specialized in audiobooks, as you can understand from the brand.
Absolutely.
And we started about 6 years ago. And at that time in Slovenia, the audiobook market was non-existent. It was totally dead market. So what's my question? We were trying to revitalize this market from zero to some scale, and we managed to get about 100,000 users by now.
Oh, nice.
And now we want to scale it even more and even faster, as you can imagine. And the second part of the question would be how to take those users that are already starting using audiobooks for free, which is first 60 days, and later with libraries, library cards. They are using library cards to borrowing for free, but to make them be prepared to pay for the books, because paying customers are still problem. As you can imagine, it was the same problem with software years ago, and then with the movies, and then with the music, and now it's the same problems with the audiobooks. So I would very appreciate some suggestions, some experience with non-existing market, how to revitalize it, and how to make customers be more prepared to pay or pay more for this content.
Okay,
digital
cool.
content.
So I can give you a feedback as an author, and I can also give you a feedback as somebody who's like tackling new markets and always up for like whatever else we can do in business. So as an author, I decided to publish on Amazon because it was like the broadest of the distribution that I could get. Like my horror scenario would be to have 10,000 books in my basement, and my husband and I would have to go to the local post office in order to get the shipments ready. So I said, no, we need to do Amazon print, and we need to like get this shit done legitimately. I was training a company in Serbia, from all places, Serbia, that was dealing with, let's say, smaller publishers, right? People who are self-publishing and people who maybe have a reluctancy to go on Amazon. And it's not just like whether you are this like marginal character from one country. It was also like a little bit of an attitude. Do I want Amazon to take a proportion of my money? So what I think it would be a sweet spot, whatever I see the ideal ICP would be like book creators, authors who have like a lot of their own audience. For example, like I'm just throwing random names out, Alyosha Bagola, Klemen Selakovic, the ones that like literally have the bestsellers out, I would be and like literally be addressing them. Like, guys, you're literally leaving money on the table because you don't have the audiobook. Then as an author, I have to tell you another thing, because I'm extremely nervous to record in English, because I don't know, Jamie here like hears my English and he's probably like, wow, this is an Indian restaurant. But nevertheless, I was a little bit nervous to just like record it myself. But if I would have another narrator recorded it, I don't think that it would sound authentic, right? So that was like literally a huge dilemma when I was deciding, and I'm still deciding for an audiobook myself. What is, in terms of unit economics, very interesting is that, for example, I'm selling on Amazon and printed version is 27, 28 euros, depends on the local taxation. And what I'm getting out of this is maybe like 12 or 14 euros, again, depends on the market, right? So the only thing why I am even like considering to give up such a large amount of money is just like the power of distribution, and I don't have to like literally invest in my own platform. So that's a huge valid edit if you have like a little bit of your community. Then when it comes to titles, I was just negotiating with Javi. So Javi is this brilliant guy from Spain, from Madrid/Barcelona. I'm still not sure because we're speaking Spanish and I don't know shit about Spanish. So it's still a mystery to me. And he said that before we secure like a lead list of 10,000 people, I don't stand a fighting chance, right? So as an author, as somebody who would be potentially interested in this market space, and this is the specific when it comes to market spaces, you always have to tackle the demand side, the supply side. So you need a couple of like really good authors in order to then like attract people who would be downloading this, and you can work with authors as well in order to make this happen. So the sweetest deal that you can do for me is just like say, Maja, Amazon takes like 50 to 60% of your profits. We can do like a much better job there, and to go like more niche. I don't think that like business literature is the best niche ever. I would go into like this self-help, bro science, just like how to live better lives, because this is what I think it's selling very well these days. But I would start like little by little. I would be snowballing and I would be developing one market after another with trusted authors. I think that this is like a very solid blueprint how you can eventually just like better monetize your database. And just like when you are thinking about audiobooks, I think the other alternative markets are just like children's books. Children's books are insane, and self-help and children's books, you're the expert in this, I'm not the expert, but this is where I would personally put my money if my neck was on the line.
Okay, this is a B2B side of our business. So we already contacted all the publishers, the popular authors with Bagola and everything.
Okay, no. Then tell me, why would I have to publish on your platform?
We have about 30 categories of audiobooks. We have more than 2,000 titles.
I don't care what you have. I care what is it for me. So sell me.
Yeah, so now the problem is what we can do on the market digitally, because everything costs and the profit is still small. You know, you cannot invest a lot of profit in digital market and promotion if you
I don't know. I don't know, and you're not listening to me. So what I want from you is to convince me that I would consider publishing on your platform. How would you pitch?
Oh yeah, because if you're some professional or something, you can reach much.
I am a professional, yes.
Much larger audience if you make an audiobook and sell it on the market with 100,000 users already.
Okay, who are the users? Are they interested in business literature? Is this like a good match for my ICP sell?
They are interested in all the categories that we have.
I don't buy this.
Why not?
Because like otherwise, like I'm literally driving demand on Amazon myself by promoting the book. So for me, just like this leap of faith assumption that there is like this gigantic audience and that if I should like invest into this audiobook, that's just like a leap of faith assumption for me. I'm not buying this.
Well, the best books, for example, some business books, they have more than 2,000 borrowing already.
Okay, how much money is this?
Well, borrowing is cheap. It's few euros.
Okay, if I invest into production, into making like an audiobook, how much money can you make for me?
Well, depends how good the book is.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But then you
If
are like trusting me, like my
if
word.
if it's very good, it's very good.
You need case study. You need case study is
Yeah,
what I'm saying, right?
I
So
know.
you need to like, Clement earned like 10K more by using this platform. This works. This is how you would literally hook me up. And the thing is that, for example, you know, for an author, I mean, it's a very big investment to do audio. I mean, either hire a voice actor or something like that, or just like, I mean, I've been poached probably like 15 times post book launch through this type of deals. So just like when I sell, I'm serious. Like I'm literally on the market on this. So follow up, have your stats ready, estimate how much money can we make together, pitch me what is the support that you can provide in order to make this product happen. I'm literally on the market for this. Whenever it comes to just like securing that there is something going on, and it was happening like with my online courses as well, right? So I have a Udemy course with 70K students, and I mean, the net output is shit. So whenever like another platform approaches me, if I would consider publishing with them, I'm just like, okay, how much money can I make with you? And can you guarantee this? This is literally like the state of the market that is right there if you are not providing any additional tangible value added. And if you have like an audience of 100K, then just like pitch me a case study. Okay, this is a book which is similar to yours, and this is how much like certain author made with it. This is the only way how I can see this happen. And maybe like, you know, we know each other for like 10 minutes, but I'm just saying how I would think if I'm being poached with such a deal, which is good for your customer discovery. You can learn a lot from this.
Okay.
Cool. Glad to serve.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. My pleasure. Who has another question, another like pressing question? I think that we are quick today. So we're answering questions in like 10 minutes. We're doing much better than the previous time when we were answering one question for 20 minutes. So we have a good tempo. Let's go, go, go.
I've got a question, Maja.
Go.
And loving that you're embracing the influencer lifestyle. It's living on the beach. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you
No,
need.
it's not a freaking influencer lifestyle. Like literally my husband would divorce me if I wouldn't take this vacation, you know? It was so bad. We haven't been on vacation for like more than a year and a half. So I'm just being a decent human being this week.
I think you need a best life sign behind you, and then you're all good.
Or eat, pray, love.
Exactly. I have a practical question
Go.
on a live project right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm running a series of go-to-market experiments for a very small, very early stage startup. And we set up a campaign 2 weeks ago, and the campaign is based around a set of new regulation and some.
What regulation in what field?
It's in government supplier risk management.
Okay.
So every supplier to the UK government now has a mandatory set of financial viability assessment tasks that they have to perform in order to continue providing services to the government. Very long, complex, boring, time-consuming. So the value proposition of this startup is we automate all of that. That's what they do. And so we've done a small set of experiments. We've created a landing page so people can check out what this is. They can buy a product on there for £30, which is a sort of little bit of a willingness to pay test, pricing test. And to get to that landing page, we have set up 3 areas of marketing activity. So the first is on LinkedIn. We've got the founder doing posts on LinkedIn and connecting with every single, there's 4,500 suppliers in the UK. We have the contact details of all of them.
Super.
So we're slowly connecting with every single one of them. When we look at their profile, we connect with them. 2 days later, we send them an email, and there's an email sequence. A/B testing that LinkedIn versus just pure cold email. The LinkedIn is working better. And then, so from the LinkedIn to the email, we're also doing Google Ads to capture search intent. And we've had about 3,000 impressions so far, which has been quite interesting, but we've got no purchases. And we're seeing people engaging with the campaign. The open rates on the emails are 60 to 70%. So we're quite happy with those. But and we've created one piece of educational content which has got some decent engagement. So far, outreach is getting good engagement, but it's not delivering anything. And I'm trying to figure out, where do I invest my time? Do I invest my time trying to educate my customer because the regulation is complex? Do I invest my time looking more deeply into the way that the product descriptions, more about the product itself, more about the brand of the company, to try and give the customer a greater sense of trust and belief? Or should I be looking into other areas? And you're a deep expert on this, so I just wanted to float that by you and see what you thought.
No, I'm clear on this. Thank you so much for offloading this to us. I mean, usually when we go with the channels for a new service, we are like 2 organic and 1 paid. And my go-to channels for organic would always be communities. So I was working in the UK with HMRC, the most boring stuff ever. And we were just like doing some sort of taxation for sole proprietors. And it was like a pain in the arse. But nevertheless, what was really interesting and really important for us was to build the trust foundation through accountants, right? So our pitch was literally, don't do your accounting like in a shoebox, just like make sure that you are using this in order to make this shit better. So we definitely needed like a little bit of a trust shield. And that happens all the time with like the most obscure categories, such as pet food, for example. You need a freaking veterinarian to just like vouch for whatever you're doing is good enough and it's compliant. So if you have already showed that you can demonstrate the interest, then my first assumption would be, if I can simulate trust, if I can really convince the folks that this is like trustworthy, and this is just like how we measure conversion from the traffic that is on the site, I can secure them more in order to make better decisions. Sometimes it helps tremendously to work with like influencers or have partnerships. Partnerships are extremely interesting lever to explore as well, because sometimes when you are a new player in the market, and I've seen this when we were working in like in supply chain, and nobody like really took us serious before we presented a couple of pilots with like our trusted partners. And from there on, like the route was much easier. So you don't have to create necessarily trust from your own case studies. You can literally borrow it from partners. And that'll be my next Substack. I already have the podcast recorded with a lady from the UK. It's really good. So partnerships is something that like literally builds the trust, and not saying that you should be partnering out with influencers or whatnot, but just like, okay, if this is like government compliant, if there are like accountants or tax advisors or some sort of compliance people that would vouch for it, this would be a great expert testimonials. So definitely trust is something that I would lever further. The second thing that I would definitely explore here is just like in terms of outreach. Sometimes we even have more luck if we are inviting them like on a trusted event with a partner or with just like organize ourselves or piggyback on somebody else's event. So where that gets really interesting is if you have a player who's much larger than you, then you can like literally piggyback with Hello Albert or something like that to all the attendees or to all the people that have liked a certain piece of content that like is relevant to your field of expertise, and you can just like surgically target these via then. When we were working with User Pilot, for example, and probably some of you were targeted as well, I didn't know that it was going on. I was just like, hey girl, you did such an amazing campaign there. So, okay, they were harvesting my likes for a week, I think for a week. And whenever there was a person who liked my posts on LinkedIn, they were just like poached. Hey, do you want to hear more of Maja? Why don't you join this webinar? Oh, you are poached. Okay, cool. Sorry. I want to be like really cautious when it comes to this. So we generated like 600 signups from that specific webinar. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, it was not a very difficult campaign to carry. It was a very good one in terms of conversion rates and maybe just like an additional lever to explore. Otherwise, I would start with the conversion rate optimization of a landing page. I think that this is where we are breaking at the moment, to have like a really clear messaging and to make sure that we have like a good trust shield. And whenever we are selling such things like in Europe, a good proximity of this would be compliance with GDPR or like with analytics software or something like that. And we always need what is called like a white road effect, right? So we need somebody whom we can trust, somebody who we can rely on, because, you know, if like Jamie and Maja say some shit, they are not even in the industry. So this could be a very good game changer. And Garau, go ahead and talk. You raised your hands. I very much like this. You are working in the Netherlands, right?
That's right.
Cool. Hello, my friend. Help.
Good to see you, Maja.
You as well.
Going slow on the questions. Actually, this is just an extension of what you asked, Jamie. One for you and one for Maja. It seems like your target group is just 4,000 people, right? So what is stopping you from just talking to them, right? As opposed to a landing page? That was my first question. And Maja, I'm curious more about when, you know, somebody like me or Jamie does these tests, is there a rule of thumb of how long you have to wait, irrespective of 2 organic, 1 paid, with trust, with partners, so you know you're hitting some level of stat sig? Is there a mental model that you have?
No, that's a really good question and an add-on. So when it comes to target market of 4,000 people, I would even consider direct mail or something stupid like this, because if you can like hook them up and
we've been with direct outreach. Yeah,
was it efficient?
Yeah, extremely good. Yeah.
Okay, super.
Open rate. So it's been great. Direct outreach has been fantastic.
Super. We were doing this once, like even with office visits. So we went there with financial consultants and we literally knocked their door, which was super time consuming, but the best when it comes to conversion and also like the telephone outreach. I'm always trying to think that like literally no channel is like old enough or weird enough in order to get the ball rolling, right? Because what you need here is just like the first 100 customers. After you cater like first 100 customers and get their recommendations, their case studies, the rest is easy and it will probably snowball. So it's also like a little bit of a cold start problem, and don't be afraid if whatever is going on in the beginning will not be scalable from a get-go. Right now, you're a hunter, so every day you are moving the needle in order to securing your addition, like traction. And when asked me about how long should an experiment take. That was very interestingly also a question that we had yesterday at GTM Strategist Bootcamp. So I would say 2 to 3 months, because sometimes when we are testing a channel, first we are just awkward at it, right? So we are not very good at it. From the get-go, we are making rookie mistakes. We don't have the traction. We don't consider ourselves to be reliable. But I think that a quarter or something like that of testing a specific vehicle, how to either like gain traction or do the activation, would be a perfect time horizon. I wouldn't go and play around with things like 14 days and to run statistically significantly A/B testing, because the majority of us, especially if you are coming from the B2B space, we don't even have the sample size in order to make this happen, right? So we have to be realistic here, and we have to be very honest about our learning curves as well. Yes, first outreach campaign that we are going to do is gonna be shit, because we don't even know how we are talking to people. So don't go and spam the entire database from a get-go. Just like try with 20% of them and iterate upon this. And whereas I would love to give you a clearer answer, and I think that you're raising the hand or something like this.
Just to add on to what you're saying. So we're reaching out to 100 a week.
Super.
So we're keeping it slow. It's not statistically significant because it'll only be 4,500 attacks, but the outreach is slow pace, so we can make those mistakes. You know, we know we're going to make them. So with the first 100, first 200, we know we're going to fuck something up. That's just the name of the game.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
But is there like a medium or like any sort of, not influencer, but any sort of like influential person in the sphere that would...
This is a very weird world. It's a really weird world. But your points, I think, about trust improvement, like that's low-hanging fruit. We can easily do that, and education and improving what we've got and making our content better and adding product reviews, and getting partners involved. Those are great points. I think we can easily do that.
Well, and in terms of content marketing, what else usually works is just like to interview a couple of opinion leaders, because when Sean Ellis was invited like in our country, I immediately got 20 leads. He was just like here, and I was there with him like at the event, and just like borrowing the trust of his personal brand and just like our ability to getting him in this space, it really, really, really moved the needle in hay. So whenever you don't have to do like this grind work, this sort of like very heavy lifting, if you have like a little bit of a proxy and combined channels. For example, let's say that you invite like an opinion leader on a webinar, and then like you're doing these things. I think it's a very, very, very good technique to tackle, but it all boils down to a simple question of just like getting in front of your people and asking them like, where are they getting this information? What is relevant to them? Whom do they trust? And just like making sure that we are on the right channels, because nobody apart from your customer will say it better. Yeah, my answers are always very simplistic. Okay, go. Next time you'll get a mod badge.
So Maja, this is more of a forward-looking question. And I've been thinking about what part of the skill set of a GTM or a PMM person will continue to be leveraged in a post-AI world. So in particular, what are the things that we are doing today that will not be done by us? And are there tools you're already using with your clients that just makes your life very simple? That's today, but I'm curious how you're thinking about like a few years from now.
Very cool. So what I think it's irreplaceable are just like human relationships. It's personalization when it comes to outreach, it's account-based marketing, and this is like the art of forming partnerships. This is why like next week I will go full on partnerships, because this is where a true leverage can be created and just like these synergies between different audiences. Then, like the second thing that I think will not go away is genuine storytelling and human-generated content. Like we're doing today, for example. I mean, I can write shit like wow, I was on vacation for 1 week and these are 5 life lessons that I learned when I was on my vacation. But it's not the same. Like, it's just like some shit that it's being seen through, and it's just like forming the genuine human relationship with folks. And also in terms of pattern recognition. Pattern recognition seems to be very fascinating for me. I'm doing it sometimes when it comes to like customer discovery interviews, and it's not just like having those transcripts. It's about like if somebody was face palming at the meeting, if somebody was just like checking the clock and yeah, that's a very good idea. Now I have to go away. It's about like nurturing the EQ that we have. And from where I see the product managers and product marketers who have tremendous impact relates back to the first questions that we asked today. So I think pricing, onboarding, that's freaking huge. Unite this with customer discovery and just like some sort of churn interviews, or just like churn like survey even. I'm not a huge fan of survey though, but like why people are not converting and what we can really do better. This is the immediate intelligence that will move the needle. But in the long run, I mean, I'm always thinking, if the machines will take care of all the jobs, what else do we have to do? And I always say entertainment, emotions, care, and genuine human touch. So whenever we are like in it together and just like making sort of a unique bond, I think that this is like the last front of foretaste for humanity. Sorry if I'm being like a little bit apocalyptic here, but this is how I was thinking about this next frontier of technology that we are seeing.
So it aligns with what I was thinking, Maja. Just to comment, and I've moved from engineering to PM to PMM, and I feel like I'm going to more creative skills, especially in an AI world where some of the kind of engineering bits are highly iterated and the feedback loops are becoming smaller and smaller. So the ambiguity of what the role looks like in the future, but keeping the core human values you're talking about seems very exciting.
It is, and you got this because you are a diligent follow-upper and everything. And I mean, I would even dare to say that the majority of people are even too lazy to do basic shit, right? So if you are a guest on a podcast, or if you love a book, like this is probably why the majority of us are in here together, like not more than 2 or 3 out of 100 people will reach out. So it may take you like 3 minutes in order to harvest this change. It's just like to be there as a person, to maybe follow up sometimes, even on this call. Like, I mean, if you have like other questions or other reflections based on this, just write a follow-up. This is how we form human relationship. Probably like the majority of you will not do this. It's fine. I mean, I will not personally suffer because of this. But if you do this, we can have like a really good and fruitful discussion afterwards. So it's about taking agency. It's about being proactive. It's about like not taking answers for a face value, but reflecting on them and maybe just like come up with an initial argument. This is where things get interesting. And for me, just like as I'm being approached towards different pitches, this is where my heart sings, because the most boring feedback that you can get is just like, yes, this is great, everything is awesome, but I cannot improve based on this. This is just like something which is cool for my ego, but not cool for my intellectual development. So always when you are considering, should I reach out or should I maybe not? And if I have a follow-up question or something like that, the answer is yes. Do it, do it, do it, because 97% of people will not do this, and this literally makes you stand out. Okay, we have 2 questions, so we are 2 questions away from my dinner. So let's go. How else can we provide value today? Maybe, no, not you again. Maybe later. You cannot be all the time, okay? Yeah, we can have a private conversation later, but maybe, let's say Christina is here on the call as well. Jure, we have a couple of other folks. maybe it would be nice to just like hear from somebody for the very first time. That would be delightful.
No, I can go next.
Please.
I can connect my question to the entertainment part of the product marketer, because I want like to write an article about what a product marketer can do when the product launch is really postponed or delayed. So in my case, I work with a company that the product had the 1.5 year delay, and they realized that the product is not good enough, and they rebuild it in another 6 months. So imagine that the business was not subscription based; it was based on partners, who resellers. And the team that was before me and me afterwards, we had the task, like how can we keep them on the loop without like giving them all kind of announcements about the development of the product and so on, even though they couldn't test the product because it was not available for testing. So my question to you is what's your experience, if you have expertise in this, what are the things product marketers can do when the the launch of the product is delayed like 6 months and even more, and you have beta testers, you made some promises, and you just keep going, apart from the emotional labor that it's part of the job in this case. If you have any advice or...
Got it. No, that's a very difficult situation. Thank you so much for sharing freely. Emilia from User Pilot just like shared a very, very honest feedback about like a lady, she worked from Microsoft before, and she had like so many problems just like securing early customer interviews. So you can like follow up with me and I will forward you these emails. I was trying to find a link, but unfortunately I cannot. But the thing is that if the launch is really far away, it's very frustrating for a person because you don't even know like what is the value of what we are doing right now, right? So the first step would definitely be to have like some sort of consensus. For example, if you have already lined up a couple of people in the beta, then you could be doing more of beta. You could be like growing communities. You could have like a bigger sign up for launch list in order to make a launch in 6 months a smashing success, if this would be tolerable. Not always is it tolerable because bosses sometimes need more immediate response. And what we did once was just like, okay, we will do like a little bit of a pre-sale. So instead of just like piling a bunch of subscription lists or something like that, we will at least test willingness to pay before we even launch, right? And this was very, very interesting field of experimentation where I and the team like literally had a little bit of a better background and a little bit better negotiation position than if it would just be, we have 3,000 emails that are eager for our launch, because like then like people would go, okay, 3,000 emails, how many of them will convert and what is that? And then when we actually demonstrated to get pre-orders for pre-sales, then our work had a lot of more gravitas. If this is just like a launch, which is 6 months away, my personal go-to answer would be to go to your boss and say, what is the best use of my time? Like, these are my ideas. This is what I was thinking. What would make the biggest impact towards the mission that we are having? I would be very, very, very surgical about making sure that we understand OKRs in the same way and that we wouldn't have like an awkward discussion after 4 months. What were you doing like for the next 4 months or something like that? I definitely wouldn't go and just like stuck myself into some content creation or SEO optimization or something like that. I would be trying to influence the pipeline and just like the outcome of the business. And first step would definitely be a consensus. So I love this product. These are the communities that we are building. What are the KPIs that I could have, like maybe in Q2 or something like that, in order to make this launch, when it finally happens, a smashing success. Willingness to pay is probably your best friend, because people might say they buy it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will do it. So I would proactively pitch some experiments down this road. And last but not least, I would just like not see it as a fail, because I would still be very aggressive about generating customer feedback and being proactive in communication with my product, with my UX and something like that. I would be pursuing customer discovery as well, if it is part of your job and it provides additional ideas. Cool. Yeah, no worries. Cool. Okay, people are already dropping off. We'll have one additional question. We have feedback. Go, go, go.
I have just one add-on to what you've said. I was in this situation where a product launch was delayed by 7 months.
Bravo.
And
thanks for sharing.
With some of our larger customers, we decided, it's a bit sneaky, this was in a B2B space, we gave them much bigger legal contracts, so because we knew they'd get tied up in their legal department for extra amount of time to buy ourselves some time. Cheeky, but it worked.
But pragmatic. Oh my God. That was cool. I love it. Like when you guys do these things, when you are like interacting and giving each other's advice, that's always the best thing how to do this. Thanks so much for pitching in. We'll do one more. Whoever wants to go next, that would be fantastic. Otherwise,
I have a quick question.
Go, Jure, go.
In the past week, I've been talking to some people, but I don't think those were the actual ICPs. And I have some idea of pain points, but I don't think I have like a clear picture, or not as good picture as I would want to. Does it make sense to create a simple MVP nonetheless with what I have right now?
Okay, so we were talking about your product, just like for the folks that are joining us for the first time, Jure is developing like a LinkedIn auto-commenting bot that wouldn't sound as cringe as usual tools that we are using here. And the last time that we were speaking, we said that like a decent content creator has like at least 10K followers, preferably 20K, so that they know that they have to spend on LinkedIn at least like half an hour or an hour a day in order to do 10 comments before they actually post. And this is like superstitious / best practice. So he has been interviewing a couple of content creators. And what I personally say that it is like the biggest problem when it comes to value commenting is that if I'm using Tapio, for example, right, that it sounds like a freaking robot. And I won't be imitating the robot right now, but I was just like, can you make it better? So I genuinely believe that if you are just like having this demo for one profile, for one like large, let's say showcase pony profile, that this would be super, super, super better to do, because when it comes to ICP, the question is who would actually pay for it, right? So I pay like $50 for LinkedIn Premium. I paid like $50 for Tapio. These are the things that are actually delivering me value. And okay, this is like right now a tool stack of 200 or something like that per month. So what else do I need when it comes to this? And I said it like very clearly that this value commenting is just like something, this is a pain in my ass. If it is easy to develop, if it literally takes you a weekend and doesn't cost like necessary cost or something like that, I would just like do it for one of the content creators that you want to collaborate with. So that would be strategically selected case study. If you feel that whatever you got into your research has very low willingness to pay, I would go back in on a bench and ask myself who has higher willingness to pay.
Okay. Yeah, got it. I have the just a follow-up to this, I kind of changed a bit to not completely automate comments, but just to make commenting easier. So it would just that would be an MVP that is much easier to create, where you would just bundle all these posts just together, and you would get the quick one sentence summary and some suggestions on what to comment, so that you could just go through 10 to 20 posts like just right away in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that pitch doesn't sound solid. I would have to say it. So the answer to your question, would I like to see it before I buy it, would be hell yes. Because right now, as you are explaining it, I'm not even imagining like how does it look like, right? So just like do it on your profile, do it like on a friend's profile or something like that, and demonstrate me. And this is like really simple. Ivana Todorovic, authored up, has been doing her onboarding videos through Loom. It is very, very, very low production. It is something which is like super interesting to see. So it's all about displaying this wow moment as soon as possible, right? Before is like Maja scratching head. Oh my God, I see another post of Sean Ellis. Maybe I should be like commenting this, but I don't want to say, wow, best job ever, Sean. Congratulations. I want to be like a little bit more original, but you know how it is. If you can offer me assistance here, this is just like a pain point that would be missionally so, but I would literally have to see it. How about the others? Like, was this pitch convincing to you? Would you just like say, shut up and take my money?
I would others in the chat that.
So with the campaign that I've been running for every LinkedIn post, we have a crowd of people in our personal network or in the founder's personal network who have to comment on each post. Bloody hell, it's like herding cats. It's terrible. So I can see the value of what you're offering. What I can't necessarily picture is how it would work and all those kind of things, but I don't need a real product to do that. I could just need some, designs of it, or I need a presentation of how it could work. And, that is also an MVP that you could create that would be able to sell me on something and that I might be willing to prepay for. So yeah, I'm like Maja. I'm thinking use case, make it real, and show me the value.
No, but maybe it would be really interesting. Thank you so much for pitching in here, because like Jure, you should definitely interview him, because he mentioned like another potential diaspora that you could be targeting, right? So ICP could be like internal engagement pods, because this is cringe as fuck. Sometimes you say to your engineers that they should be active on LinkedIn, and then they're just like rage posting at like commenting things because people told them to do this. So that is interesting. Why is it interesting? Because these engagement pods usually have some sort of indication of willingness to pay, whoever invested, like to have this group arranged that it will work, has some sort of vested interest that they are serious about this. And this is not just like this random content creator who said like 1 month, I want to be an influencer, and then they give up on the second month, which is a huge churn for you. So that will be a very, very, very interesting use case for you to explore, especially in the tech industry, where everybody knows what we should be doing. The problem is that we are not doing it. It's like freaking exercise.
Yeah, okay. I've been talking, I have a meet with the developer after this, so I will kind of try to like have a product maybe as simple as possible, or just a preview, and to see
just a video
in the right direction. Yeah,
super. And connect with Jamie. Ask him if
sure.
he can share LinkedIn profile in the chat, because you don't know him, and now it's your chance, and you need to be proactive. Yes.
Thank you, Jamie. I will contact you.
There's my email.
Thank you.
Perfect, even better. Okay, cool. Can we fix another thing today, or do we go to have a dinner?
Yeah, if time permits, can I ask a question?
Oh,
This is
hi.
Sham. This is the first time I joined.
Yes, I hear
Hi,
you.
Maya.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Maya. Nice to be in this session and nice to see you all.
You
I'm
as well.
from India. And right now it's almost like 11:30 in the night for me, but I'm happy to have spend this time here in this session. So
Okay.
I'll do an introduction, a very brief introduction about me. I'm working in a large enterprise here, which is more service oriented, but there is a small product wing here. We are building a SaaS product, which is based on the concept of digital sales room, which is somehow kind of hyperinflated by Gartner. And when
Okay.
and
What does
we
the
have
product do?
done
What is the benefit? What is the benefit?
it's based on digital sales tool, wherein it helps a sales team to remotely engage with their prospects in
Okay.
the B2B world.
Okay.
It helps them to engage with multiple stakeholders
That's good.
remotely, and it will have one place wherein all the contents, all the artifacts, what the customer needs to in order to make a confident decision making. It provides that platform for the sales team. So sales team can simply create individual rooms for each customers they are prospecting, and right from the opportunity till the closure of the deal, customer will have one place wherein the sales team can share all their deal contents. They can converse, they can collaborate like a team-to-team selling and close the deal. Right. So the customer is also happy because they find everything in one place to make the decision, and the selling is just a byproduct.
Okay, what now?
Yes. So we are done with the MVP, and I'm reaching out to multiple potential customers.
Okay.
But when I do this pitching, most of the customers says, the sales team says, it is good to have, not something they are very desperate about going for it, right?
Okay.
And Gartner
I
says
send you a
yeah.
LinkedIn profile of my favorite sales guy. His name is Matuš. He's from like Czech Republic, but otherwise Slovak. So he has been like tampering with my offers. You just like write to him, Maja recommend me to get in touch with you in order to verify if this has like a tangible use case here. So you can just like, I gave you the first piece of interview that you can do. And then when you do well with Matuš, you ask Matuš who's the next person that you should be talking to. And usually this goes like a very snowball thing. So it's finding those people with influence in the space, preferably those who have like agencies or some sort of like multiplication that they can disperse these to multiple clients. And my assumption is that right now you need to find 20 people who are like Matuš and just like do well with them, be more convincing in the pitch, because when the pitch, and I mean, I can be like easily bored. Like I'm a very distracted person and I'm on holiday. So benefits. Benefit, what is in it for me? If I do this multiple touch campaign, I'm going to close this 50% more likely or something like that. This is something that I'm very much interested in. Talk to me benefits. What is in it for me? Not what the product does. So just when you will be discussing with these characters, literally, okay, we did this because we saw that this is going on in the business, and with the product, this is a better way how we can do this. So polish this messaging. It's not very complicated, and I know that you are sleepy, but please do it for Matuš and take this link immediately from the chat, because otherwise it will disappear from Zoom, okay?
Yeah, I'm already taking it down. Thanks, Maya, for that.
And if you
thanks
need
for
any other leads, I
recommendation.
can get you 2 more, but I don't want to be spammy about this. This is just like one demonstration how we do shit, okay?
Sure, Maya. I'll immediately talk to Martin.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'll speak. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I very much thank you for being here. Jamie, is there any possibility that we would see your Scotia/retriever? This is what I call on these calls, to see the Scotia. Yui! And she gone. Okay, but that was amazing. That was amazing. I'm literally like obsessed with these dogs. Thank you so much. If anybody else has a pet, please bring them the next time we speak together. So I'm still deciding whether to run this on a weekly basis or not. I mean, I've been having fun. I don't know about like the quality of the output that we did during this session. So I will analyze all the recordings. I will proactively ask for follow-up. So don't consider me a spammer. I'm just like trying to decide if we should do this again or not. Thank you so much for being with us. And right now, I'm so distracted because this freaking dog is stealing all my attention, but I love people as well. So have a very nice evening and hope to see you soonish. Ciao. Bye.
Ciao. Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you.